Hello and welcome to Gary and Reva's Top 5. Today I'm going to be talking about my top 5 FPS weapons. This was voted for by my patrons. Check out my Patreon linked in the description if you want to have your say. First-person games have a lot of varied, interesting weapons. Some are powerful cannons and some are just sneaky little daggers. And despite the FPS thing, this list is open to all first-person games. I was also quite conflicted over whether things like Skyrim Magic count, so I did a Twitter poll and generally people said no. So this list is limited to physical items where killing or hurting is the primary or only purpose. 3 things to remember. First of all, these are my personal opinions, so please don't tell me I'm wrong. These are limited only to the ones that I know or am familiar with, and mild spoilers about weapons, but barely. Number 5. Corvo's sword from Dishonored 1 and 2. Although the sword itself has little special properties about it, it folds away neatly into the hilt, and then by doing a little trick with it you can extend it for immediate use. I actually have a replica of this from when I cosplayed Corvo at a Comic-Con. And yes, the replica folds out, it sort of has a thumb loop, so you spin it around your hand and it extends and then locks out. It's so damn cool. A full-length strong sword that can be folded away into its hilt, that's perfect for stealth. It's also upgradable, there are a few upgrades you can get in the games, and it's just a versatile weapon. You can use it to stab a traitor or decapitate a robot. This sword could really overthrow an empress. Number 4. The Plasma Thrower from Fallout 4. I was torn between this and the Institute Rifle. I'm very fond of both, but I went for this one because it's more useful. For those of you unaware, Fallout 4 lets you customize and mod weapons extensively. You can lengthen rifle barrels, you can change the grips, you can even change things like firing mechanisms and ammo types with some guns. For laser and plasma weapons, however, you take this one step further. You can mod them all the way from a pistol into a sniper or a shotgun. And plasma weapons can also be modded into a plasma thrower. It is a flamethrower barrel. It's very short range, and to be honest, it's shorter range than you expect it to be, but it shoots a gout of very damaging green fire. For tight corridors and close-range enemies like ghouls and some synths, it is perfect, and it does physical and energy damage as well, so it can get through most kinds of armor. Also, you can mod it with the gamma wave emitter, so that it also does fire damage, and then you will just feel like a real badass. The plasma thrower is always on my list of weapons whenever I play Fallout 4. Number 3. Mehrunes Razor from Skyrim. This, while not the strongest, is the coolest weapon in Skyrim. You obtain it at the end of a fascinating Daedric quest, and Mehrunes Razor is a dagger. It comes with a special enchantment that will instantly kill anything it hits, but only at a 1.98% chance. That means that about 1 in 51 people you stab with it will just drop dead no matter what their health is. This enchantment never needs recharging, so it is a great little emergency weapon. And as I mod Skyrim extensively, the Better Uniques mod, I think it's called, makes it a decent dagger in its own right and doesn't get immediately obsolete. On my current Skyrim playthrough, my stealth character uses it whenever someone needs assassinating at close range. Also, it's even more personal opinion, but it's very pretty. I would love to get a replica of this whether it's metal or not. Number 2. The Margrave from Prey. The Margrave is functionally identical to the standard shotgun, just aesthetically different. The engraving reminds me of, and is probably inspired by, Emily's scarf in Dishonored 2. I mean, they are the same developer, Arcane Studios. The Margrave version of the shotgun is available as part of the Cosmonaut DLC, which I got as a pre-order bonus. And you actually get the Margrave earlier than you get most of the shotguns, I think. It might be the earliest shotgun in the game. Prey is a phenomenal game and was my game of the year for 2017. And one thing to note is that the game is very limited on weapons. This isn't necessarily a bad thing. It really helps establish that this isn't a military installation, it's not Half-Life, Black Mesa. It is just a place where science is done. You get a silenced pistol and a beam gun, but nothing else packs the punch of the shotgun. And in a game where you're stalked by invisible monsters and things that disguise as other things, having something like the shotgun makes you feel so much better. It's so satisfying to just blow away a disguised mimic, and the Prey shotgun feels powerful. Especially when it's upgraded, but even early on it gives you that little bit of confidence that you need to get through this game. It's satisfying, comforting, and with the Margrave it is very pretty. And finally, number 1. The light gun from Overwatch. I was a bit surprised when this got the top spot. I mean, I've made no secret of D.Va being my favourite Overwatch character in many ways, and one of those ways is how she plays. When she's mech'd up, she is a close-range tank. Her fusion cannons, which were on my shortlist for this list but didn't get in, are basically automatic shotguns with infinite ammo, meaning she can get into the thick of it and deal and soak up damage. Even when she does get unmech'd, however, that's when you remember that she is a tiny 19-year-old Korean girl. She's very fragile and can just about take on Tracer in a one-on-one, if the Tracer isn't very good. However, she compensates for this by having the light gun. It's a surprisingly long-range gun because it has no damage drop-off compared to the fusion cannons, which become basically tickling someone beyond a few meters. While DPS-wise, that's damage per second, it's slightly worse than Mercy's pistol, it does have a higher rate of fire and very good accuracy. I absolutely love that D.Va has this second phase of gameplay after the main threat of the mech is taken out. And by making the light gun the way they did, they made it so she doesn't need to immediately jump back into her mech to be useful. In fact, there have been times when I have deliberately not jumped into my mech because a close-range tank wouldn't work when I needed more long-range damage. Granted, they've compensated for that a bit by giving the mech the rockets, but still. In addition to its strategic use, it is very nicely animated with things like her reloading animation. And while pink isn't my favourite colour, that didn't stop me from getting a replica light gun that actually appeared back in the In Case of Emergency video. Here it is again. It sits on the shelf above my desk. I love it. It's very pretty. Overall, it's a dark horse of a weapon both in-game and in this list. And that is all for my top 5 FPS weapons. Please comment below with your favourite FPS weapons, as well as suggestions for future top and bottom 5s. Also, I do intend to do lists for top 5 FPS tools and top 5 FPS powers or abilities. You can also vote for next month's top 5 by pledging to my Patreon linked in the description. Thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you later.